Hi again, welcome back to €5 Food. Today we're going to be making Eccles Cakes, little pastry parcels bursting with currants, thought to have originated from the town of Eccles in England. To make this dish, you'll need the following ingredients. For the filling, 200 grams of currants or raisins, 160 grams of demerara sugar, 100 grams of butter, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, half a teaspoon of nutmeg, and a little milk to glaze. For the pastry, 250 grams of plain flour, 200 grams of margarine or vegetable shortening, 1 teaspoon of salt, or if you prefer you can just buy 450 grams of flaky or shortcrust pastry. Unless you're using instant pastry, start off by placing the flour, salt and margarine or vegetable shortening into a food processor and pulsing until blended to a breadcrumb-like consistency. Transfer to a large bowl and add some dashes of water, a few tablespoons is usually sufficient, while stirring until you have a smooth dough. Push into a ball and place into a bag or bowl. Cover and place into the refrigerator while you prepare the rest of the recipe. Melt the butter in a saucepan over the stove, and then add in the raisins or currants, and the cinnamon and nutmeg. Remove from the heat, and mix well, and then set aside and allow to cool. Once the currants, or raisins, have cooled, remove the pastry from the refrigerator. At this point, preheat your oven to 220 degrees Celsius, and then roll the pastry out onto a floured surface to a thickness of about 4 millimeters. And then cut into rounds using a cookie cutter with a diameter of about 10 centimeters. Place a heaped teaspoonful of the currant or raisin mixture into the center of the pastry rounds, and then moisten one half of the pastry around the filling. Fold the rounds over and squeeze the edges together before placing them fold downwards into your hand and gently molding and squeezing them into a thick disc shape about 1 to 1.5 centimeters thick. Brush with the milk, and then stick each one a couple of times with a fork before placing onto a well-greased baking sheet. Place into the preheated oven and bake for about 15 minutes until they are a rich golden brown. Remove, allow to cool on a baking tray for 30 minutes or so before digging in and enjoying with a nice cup of tea. I hope you enjoyed this recipe today. Please do check back again soon for more recipes at €5 Food.